Welcome back to my channel, YouTube friends and family, and also those of you that follow our Facebook page. As I've told you guys many times, I am a diabetic and I have to be very careful when I'm eating carbs. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I like to make some low carb snacks. Sometimes I feel like I've been deprived because there's so much that other people can eat. For example, potato chips. I can't eat potato chips. There's too many carbs in those. So I have to find substitutes. So in this video, you're going to see one of the things I truly like to use for substitutes. These snacks that I'm making, I'm taking to the Saturday Night Card Players group. That's at my family. We get together on Saturday nights. And this is going to be our hors d'oeuvres before dinner. All right, sit back and enjoy our video. You're going to see on the screen now our YouTube channel address. This is the address you'd enter into your browser to get to our YouTube channel. Now, what you're seeing is a playlist. This is a playlist for low-carb recipes that I truly like to fix for myself, and I think you might enjoy it. Watch today's video, and then remember, go back and check this playlist out. The first step that you need to take is to turn your oven to 425 degrees and let it preheat. All right, here's our ingredients for our low-carb snack. As you can see here, I'm using some Nutri-Grain carb watches. The important thing that there's only 2 net carbs. Now, you say, well, it's got to have more carbs than that. It does. It has 14, but the dietary fiber is 12. 14 minus 12 gives you 2, and that's 2 net carbs per each tortilla. And we're going to cut those and make chips with them. Now, we're going to set those chips on a pan. We're going to use our pizza sauce. It also doesn't have a lot of carbs. In 1/4 cup, there's 6 carbs and 1 fiber, so that's 5 grams. But remember, we're not going to put 1/4 cup on our chips. I'm going to use some Spanish manzanilla olives. And if you look at that, you can see that as far as carbohydrates, it's less than 1 gram, and that's for 7 olives. And we're going to slice those and put it on there. The next thing we're going to use when we make our chips is pepperoni. And I'm showing you brand names, but I'm not sponsored by any of these people. It's just good to know what someone's using when you're looking at a recipe. Now, these have total carbs of 0 and no fiber. That's because it's primarily protein and fat. The next thing I'm going to use is some low-fat mozzarella cheese. Okay, it may be a little hard. Hopefully the glare is not going to block that out. I just put it in a bag to preserve it. It's got a total of 1 gram of carbs per 1/4 cup. Here again, we're not going to use 1/4 cup. All right, let's get started. Okay, to cook these, we're going to use this pizza pan, and this one has holes in it. Now, what that's going to allow it to do is it's going to allow more heat to get to the bottom of the chips and make them crisper. I'm going to start out by cutting this into some strips, and they don't have to be uniform. Okay, with anything we learn as we do. If you'll notice, I cut the end pieces a little bit larger, and I don't have to waste any of the tortilla. And those are a multi-grain tortilla. I'm not going to put them on this pan to put everything on it. I'm going to start them on a plate and transfer them over. I don't want to take a chance of getting a lot of liquid on that in the pizza sauce or the olive juice or anything like that. Okay, I've taken and poured some of my pizza sauce in the bowl. I don't want to get too much on it. I'm just using a little silicone pastry brush to put just a little. I'm only wanting a little flavor on there. I'm not trying to make this for a meal. This is just a little snack, a little appetizer, so to speak. Got enough of that on it, so let's move on to the next step. I dipped out some of the green pimento stuffed Spanish olives, and what I'm getting ready to do now is slice those and put some pieces on the chips themselves. Be right back with you. As you can see, I have cut my olives into thirds, and each little piece now has 3 olives. My next step is to take my pepperoni and put one of those on top of here. All right, as you can see, I probably should have cut those pepperoni in half, but they'll be fine. There's not a lot of carbs in any of the pepperoni if I'm just eating a few of these snacks. Now I'm going to move on to putting just a little mozzarella cheese on top of the pepperoni and then load them over onto my pan and get them ready to bake. Our cheese is on top of our pepperonis, and I can tell you from having made pizza, you most definitely want to limit the amount of cheese. You can get too much cheese on one, and all you're going to taste is the cheese, not the other flavors. I have my little snacks on my pizza pan. It's time now for me to set it here in this oven. Turn on my oven light so I can keep an eye on them. While we were waiting on the other snacks or appetizers, whichever you prefer to call them, to get ready, I have cut up and I have put a little bit, just enough for a little hint of flavor. Let's start that all over. I've put salt on these little pieces of chips just to give them a little flavor. I'm going to be cutting some of this ham. Now this is ham that I had previously baked. I cut it up. I vacuum sealed it and froze it. I find it's very, very economical to buy a big ham and to cut it into servings. For the price of one ham, I can eat on ham for 3 months because I'm not going to eat that much at each meal. I've also taken and got out some pineapple and I have cut it in half. In retrospect, I should have just bought crushed pineapple and put a little bit of that on there. Would have worked just as well without all the trouble. As you can see, I managed to get half of one pineapple cube on each slice. And as I said, it would have been much easier just to have used crushed pineapple. But we live and learn. Okay, I have topped each pineapple except for one with kind of a hunk of ham. I tend to cut my ham in hunks when I'm slicing it up to vacuum seal it after it's been baked. Our first batch with the pepperoni has cooked. I've pulled it out to let it cool here. Just as soon as it cools a little bit, I'll take it off and set it on this serving plate. All right, now I have my pineapple, ham, and cheese snacks ready to go in. So we're going to go over here. We're going to hit the timer button, and we're going to put this on 9 minutes. That's what it took for the others, and this one should be about the same. All right, let's get them in the oven now. Just taking the ham and pineapple snacks out, and I'm calling them snacks, but actually tonight I'm going to be using them as hors d'oeuvres for our Saturday night get-together with the family. Video, y'all.
I don't care.
Good.
I'm going to be a star.
But what do you think?
Yum.
Oh,
I get so tired of eating the same thing, and
I
I
have a little dish.
wanted something that was low carb that I can fix at home.
Oh,
All right, it's a success, guys. Thank you for watching. Share on your social media for us. We appreciate you.